Have you ever saved money so carefully that you began cutting away pieces of your own life? Skipping meals, postponing simple comforts, ignoring small joys, all for the promise of a safer tomorrow. Yet still feeling that one unexpected storm could sweep everything away? There is a saying, never save money. Of course, it does not mean wasting it or living recklessly. It means something gentler and far more honest. Money should support your life, not make you afraid to live it. Saving is wise, but saving without purpose can quietly turn into fear. In a small town where electricity disappeared as often as it arrived, there lived a man named Daniel. Blackouts were not emergencies there. They were routines. Lights flickered, food spoiled, phones died, candles became necessities instead of decorations. Daniel worked nights as a security guard at a warehouse on the edge of town. It was a job that demanded patience more than strength, silence more than conversation. He was a simple man, honest, reserved, dependable. Each morning, he returned home with aching legs and heavy eyelids. Each night, instead of sleeping, he lay awake. Not because he had energy, but because his mind refused to rest. Rent, bills, school expenses, repairs, and above all, uncertainty. One evening, Daniel sat at the small wooden table with his wife Lena and their young son Owen. Dinner was modest but warm. Owen excitedly showed his schoolwork, pointing at carefully written sentences, proud of each word. Then the lights went out. The room fell into sudden darkness. Lena reached for the matches without surprise. She lit a candle and sighed softly. Not angry, just tired. Owen stared at the weak flame. "How am I supposed to study like this, Dad?" It was an innocent question, but to Daniel, it sounded like an accusation he could not answer. That moment lingered long after the candle burned low, and that night Daniel made a decision. He would save enough money to buy a generator. Because everyone said the same thing. A generator means safety. Daniel found an old envelope. Across the front, he wrote one word in firm, careful letters: generator. He hid it in a drawer beneath folded shirts. Every week, he slipped money inside. At first, it felt empowering. The envelope grew heavier. Hope grew heavier. To speed things up, Daniel began removing small pleasures from his life. No more hot tea in the morning. No fruit at the market. No replacing his worn shoes. When discomfort crept in, he whispered, "For the future, for security." He believed sacrifice was the price of safety. But life rarely respects envelopes. One night, Owen developed a high fever. Daniel and Lena rushed him to the clinic, panic beating faster than footsteps. The doctor examined the boy, then spoke calmly, "Payment first." Daniel's hands trembled as he opened the drawer at home. The envelope opened. The money left. In minutes, months of discipline dissolved. Owen recovered. Yet Daniel did not feel relief. He felt something colder, fear. Soon after, the landlord increased the rent. Daniel's supervisor declared his shoes unsafe. Unexpected expenses appeared like uninvited guests. The envelope returned to its original state. Thin, empty, silent. Daniel worked longer hours. He slept less. He spoke less. Inside him, frustration quietly fermented. He had done everything right. He had been disciplined. So why did safety still feel so distant? Daniel had always heard, saving money makes you secure. But his own experience whispered a different truth. The more he saved, the more afraid he became of losing it. Every expense felt like a threat. Every emergency felt like failure. Instead of peace, saving had given him anxiety. Instead of confidence, it had given him tension. One night, the entire town lost power again. Daniel stepped outside for air. Across the dark street, one house glowed warmly. Curious, he walked over. It belonged to Mrs. Howard, an elderly woman who sold snacks near the school. She welcomed him kindly and showed him a rechargeable lantern. "I charge it when electricity returns," she explained. "When the power goes out, I rent it to neighbors." Daniel looked at the steady glow. "It gives light," she added, smiling, "and it brings income." Something shifted inside him. Money hidden away stays silent. Money used wisely can speak and return. That night, Daniel sat at the kitchen table, holding the now familiar empty envelope. For years, he had treated it like something sacred, untouchable. But now it felt like something else. A symbol of waiting, of postponing life. When Lena woke and saw him there, she asked gently, "Still saving?" Daniel shook his head, not with confidence, but with honesty. "I don't want to save just to feel afraid anymore," he said quietly. "I want to build something that helps us live better now." Lena's eyes filled with worry, but she listened, and that listening felt like a small release of pressure. The next morning, Daniel used what little remained to buy: 2 rechargeable lanterns, 1 small power bank. Spending felt terrifying, like stepping off solid ground. He arranged a modest deal with a repair shop nearby. He would help clean in the evenings in exchange for charging his devices during the day. It was a small step, but it was movement. During the next blackout, Daniel walked through dim streets carrying soft pools of light. His voice was hesitant. Lantern rental, phone charging. Some doors stayed closed. Some faces looked suspicious. But others agreed, because darkness had exhausted them too. That first night, Daniel earned only a little. Yet the feeling was different. This money carried purpose. It was not hidden. It was earned. Daniel wrote every detail in a notebook: costs, earnings, repairs, profit. He showed Lena everything. For the first time, money was no longer a silent source of tension between them. It became a shared conversation, a shared plan. Owen began helping enthusiastically. He recorded names, tracked rental times, handled lantern returns with pride. Their home changed in subtle ways. Meals became calmer, voices softened. Hope quietly replaced irritation. Neighbors knocked with respect instead of sympathy. Daniel felt tired, but no longer defeated. One stormy evening, a lantern fell and cracked. The old fear resurfaced, but Daniel did not freeze. He used his earnings to repair it, adjusted his rules, learned from the mistake. For the first time, loss felt like a lesson, not a disaster. Months later, Daniel purchased a small solar panel. Not perfect, not powerful, but enough. When sunlight first touched its surface, Daniel felt something he had not known for years: calm. Because safety was no longer locked inside a drawer. It was being built. Another blackout. The town darkened, but Daniel's house remained bright. Owen looked around in wonder. "Are we safe now, Dad?" Daniel smiled gently. "Safety isn't about hiding money," he said. "It's about creating something that can carry us through tomorrow." He flattened the old envelope. He placed it inside his notebook, not as a regret, but as a reminder of who he once was. A man who believed safety meant hoarding. Now he understood. Saving alone cannot protect a life. But using money with purpose, courage, and clarity can slowly transform fear into strength. In that town of endless blackouts, Daniel learned something simple yet profound. Money is not meant to be feared, not meant to be worshipped, not meant to be hidden from life. It is meant to be guided, because life does not wait for perfect plans. It changes through small, brave decisions, even when uncertainty still lingers nearby. And sometimes, the path to security does not begin with saving more, but with using what you have more wisely.